Hey, you guys. I'm setting things up right now. It'll be just a minute. How's everyone doing? And making sure, by the way, I'm just gonna go ahead and anyone, you know, who's here. Mike's bad right now. I'm currently I'm not in my usual streaming area right now, but I wanted to go ahead and do this stream for the weekend. Um, so my mic's not as good as it could be right now, but you know, it's working. It's here. It's in charge. So I think that's what's important at the end of the day. Hold on, just trying to. I changed my Twitch password, which probably not something I should be saying, but I did. So I'm trying to sign into a bunch of things right now. All right, I'll be ready in just a second. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday. And then, right, connecting. And then let me know if you guys can hear me or not. If you guys can't, let me know. I think you can. I'm gonna say you can. That would really suck if you couldn't, but oh well. Yeah, almost ready. Let's see. Hi everyone who's joining in. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to talk about everything today. I'm just getting a couple things set up for the stream still. Welcome, welcome. Let me know if y'all can hear me or not. Audio's gonna be a bit not as I'm not using my normal microphone today. So I'm not gonna be my mic's not as perfect, but hopefully you can still hear me. Hello. All right. I think I'm just about ready. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and start now. If you have any questions, start popping them in the chat, and I'd be happy to get everything going. And I'll just start talking about things, and as questions pop in, let me know, and I'd be glad to answer them for you guys. So yeah, so I will go ahead and start talking about our 2022 plans for BYG. And oh, I hit my knee. How fun, right? And basically, want to start off with kind of this is the master change log, as I call it, and I want to showcase this to you guys. Let me know if you can, hopefully y'all can see this. If not, let me know. Hello. Thank you. And let's see. So then to start off, this is going to be that master change log for everyone. And basically how this works essentially is this is where I write down a lot of my ideas and a lot of our plans. Um, so essentially going on right here, what you kind of are seeing is looking at some new biomes that I'm looking into removing and are into adding some biomes that definitely are being removed, unfortunately. And then looking at some of the revamps. This was our plans originally for 1.17, now 1.18, and now even pushing into 1.19. So essentially, unfortunately, things just you can hear it here first if you haven't heard it. I've talked about this a lot in some of the other areas. Lake biomes are all removed in 118. We're going to be removing our Glowshroom Bayou and also the Glowing Ancient Forest, along with our Grassland Plateau. The Vibrant and the Cold Swamplands are going to be removed. Canyons, which you don't have to worry about, was never an official biome. It was a disabled biome that was a work in progress and never got finished because our other developer Corgi, he just never was really satisfied with the surface builder and like the coding he had done for that biome, and it just didn't work out, which is okay. That happens. Pretty much every sub biome has been removed from BYG, along with our alpine foothills, which has been a lot of these biomes have been transformed and have gotten and received some new things. And then this list is a little bit outdated, so I actually went ahead and grabbed over this list. You can actually find this in the Discord, Potion Studios Discord. And I need to set up a link for that, but I will get a link out for that for people that are not in that already. It should be posted to my Twitter. But yes, I will try and get more links out for that to join Potion Studios if you haven't. And I wanted to go in and talk about just some of the new kind of reworks that some of the biomes are going to be doing and like what you can expect going forward in 2022 with that for 118, 119. So our bluff field is actually now called our Canadian Shield. And this is based off of the Canadian Shield, which is a real geographical feature up in Canada. It's a wonderful space, and it is also home to many hydrangeas. So I actually have some footage we can go in and look in game at some of the new content that's being worked on, look at some of the new terrain gen. Do we want to call? I mean, I think we're both streaming. No, so okay, so I guess you joined in a little late. So I'm actually not down with my usual mic. I actually am using I have to use a different mic for the time temporarily, because I'm not at my current living space. I'm somewhere else right now. So I have to use this mic. I know it's a little bit worse. It's not as good, but that's just what I'm gonna have to make do with for now. So yeah. Yes, what a crossover. I agree. Even though we both work on the same mod together, I wouldn't really say it's much a crossover. Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind calling, but I mean, if we're both streaming, I feel like that'd be a bit confusing. Because I feel like we're talking about very different things. I'm going over something else, and you were just commenting on that. All right. Well, here, yeah, I could probably call you in just a minute here. I'm gonna go into explaining some things real quick. But I wanted to take a look in the space, everyone. Look how gorgeous this is. What an amazing job Corey Taco has done on the implementing the biomes. They look absolutely gorgeous in game. So excited. And we also can take a look at some of the upcoming artwork reworks. A lot have been myself, and then also one of my dear friends, Bear, has been. We've both been tackling at redoing some of the artwork, updating it, making it look a lot newer, fresh, more diverse. Um, so we can go ahead and take a look at a lot of those things today. I'm kind of just scrolling through right now. You can see a ton of beautiful new. I redid a lot of the flowers and have updated a lot of our plants and environmental just stuff, which I think is so exciting, super cool. I absolutely am a huge fan of the artwork. I really love it. Cryptic Stone has actually been revamped recently. We can go ahead and take a look at this. We can look and see or here, let me look at the vent. There you go. We got the vents looking all nice and fresh. Got the cryptic stone. And then our redstone, as long as our magma block. So now it's got these brand new textures that really bring it more to life, give it a cleaner look. Shout out to the Spare for these. These were incredible. I asked him, he actually designed these, I believe, last night. I texted him. I was like, I'm wondering, I was like, are you up for a challenge? Because I think it's a little bit more difficult because I wanted to ensure it's based off of a very specific kind of rock, where it has these little pores, and I was like, it needs to be maintained that, but it's got to be clean, it's got to be fresh. And he was like, I got you. And then look at how amazing this is. Great job. I'm absolutely a huge fan. I love it. And then we've got some brand new reworks to a couple of new plants as well, more recently. And then we can take a look at our Hydrania Flowers. And I wanted to showcase this in game because just to clear up some confusion. So these are exclusively found in our BYG Canadian Shield biome. How exciting. And fun fact, these flowers are incredibly loved by, Canadians and that because they are very natural to the region and grow incredibly well there. This is the saddest Canadian Shield microbiome I've come across. That is okay. It happens. But you can already see here, sometimes you're gonna get these hedges, mostly you're going to get the bush, but I wanted to kind of incorporate a variety so you could still kind of come across some diversity with that. And essentially these bushes are really fun and really new because they act as like a multi-decorational block. You can have this more wild version of the flower, but if you bone meal it, you can actually get these more very symmetrical looking aligned edges. And then all you have to do to turn them back is just shear them. So they're these interchangeable decorational flower that I think are absolutely gorgeous. And originally they were just the bush, but it was a huge community request to actually add the hedge feature. And I was on board. I thought it was a really great idea and gave it a really unique little twist to this flower. Give it a little different oomph and edge that, some of our other decorations might not have in the mod. So I think that was a really wonderful suggestion from the community, and we can go ahead and look at our vase flower. If anyone doesn't know what a vase flower is, go Google it. It's called a vase flower, or it's called a silver vase plant. If you want to Google it, if you just search silver vase, that you're going to get a silver vase, quite literally. So, how exciting is that? These I think look gorgeous. I went and I'm complimenting my own work at that point. And then the orange daisy. Wanted to give it a different look, something that kind of had a more darker contrast in the center to kind of complement the orange a bit better. The white, I experimented with I tried both white and black, and I didn't like either, so I kind of went with this in the middle brownish black that was still had some kind of orange hue to it, and I honestly ended up really enjoying this a bit more. I just think out of the three, it looked the most appealing, and looked really fun. And then we can go ahead and, and then just some quality of light. Apparently, Travertine did not have recipes. That has been fixed and will be in the next alpha we end up releasing, which is very nice. Good quality of life change. And then there was a really weird, and it was funny, I just kind of Googled the mod's name and I was just seeing what people were doing, and I saw that there was a Reddit post complaining about the fact that Soapstone had two recipes, which I thought was interesting. And I found out there was two conflicting recipes. One was only giving one soapstone, the other was giving two. I removed the one that only gave one, so you're gonna get two soapstone because I just think that's more fair. And it's not like overpowered; it's just stone. So, um, the recipe, I believe, is clay with any kind of stone tag or cobblestone tag, I believe, something like that. So, and that'll give you two soapstone. So yeah, you can get and enjoy that to kind of be more consistent. So there's not that weird little bug anymore. Let's see, and then I can go over, I see when you're done, can I see the biomes when there are new wood textures? Absolutely. So I can go ahead and kind of go ahead and look at some of those. I wanted to also showcase, let's see if we can find a good baobab savanna. Most of the ones I find are usually kind of disappointing, I won't lie. So let's go ahead and look at, did we get a good one? We did get a good one. We got one where you can actually see that. So here is the look at some of the new baobab wood texture. Absolutely obsessed. And then we can go ahead and look at the new leaves for them as well that are meant to kind of complement the biome's colors a bit better and also give it a more unique and distinct shape as well. And then here's a look at our prairie. I will say, looking at this, I might go in and tone down the density of the prairie grass. Let me know what you guys think. I think it might be a bit too much where it's kind of the fact that it's taking up everything personally, and I feel like it might be a little bit laggy for those. It might be a bit hard to clear for building, but let me know what you guys think about that. I might go in and adjust that depending on what people are thinking about it. I definitely want to release a feedback survey when we've gotten at least a good 75% of the biomes in so that I can get a glance at what people are saying about them, what they're thinking, what we could be doing better for those environments. So were there any IRL inspirations for the content in Biome Reworks? Yes, that is a really great question, and I can go ahead and kind of talk over that, and I will be kind of looking, I'll be referencing a lot of this. So for example, one of the slight reworks, for example, would be our Redwood Tropics to the Redwood Thicket. A lot of people did not really enjoy the fact that the redwoods were, because they're not really tropical, but they were just named that way. And then for just overall as well, Skyrest was based off of a, oh, I'd have to see. I believe it is a Chinese a Chinese mural. Um, and it's I posted it in my Discord. I don't think I could probably find a picture. It was pretty difficult to find. It was a very specific image that I had in mind, and I loved it. Showcased these high mountains with the kind of swirly little trees that hung off the cliffside, and that was a huge inspiration for Skyrus. And then to kind of talk about what um, Zika, I know a lot of people always ask about Zika wood, and that would be, for anyone who doesn't know, that would be our Zika woods biome. This, in fun fact, probably the oldest BYG biome in the mod. This is probably the oldest biome to date. It has received, its reworks, its changes, but its concept has pretty much stayed the same since it was developed around, oh, I want to say 5, 6 years ago, was when it was really fully developed. And here we can also take a look at the new Sika wood texture. And she's got our pumpkins, and that plays a huge role with our autumnal valley. But this concept was Sika is basically just it pretty much just means autumnal in itself. It means like seasonal. The entire forest was meant to be like a magical season, like permanent seasonal forest. My brightness is at, let's agree, it's actually at bright. It's probably because it's nighttime. Here is it. I think it was a little dark because it was getting nighttime here. I can set it to day, and then we can set the game rule for the world to do daylight cycle false, so that we can kind of stay there with that, right? And then let's see, what are some other biomes that I really took inspiration from? The Shattered Desert was, and it's kind of nerdy, I know, but it was definitely. I also, just in the chat real quick, I do very much love how the new redwood in the site could turn out, and I can actually go to the redwood thicket right now because it was just added, I think yesterday by Corgi. Awesome job. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this. I'm obsessed. I love the color contrast. I think it works perfectly. But anyways, the Shattered Desert, which is a end biome, was inspired a lot by a game I play so much, one of my favorite games called Paladins. Some of you may know it, some of you may not. One of my favorite games of all time. And they have a map called the Shattered Desert, and it's this very just like magical, whimsical desert that absolutely was obsessed with the concept, and I really wanted to try and bring my own twist to that to the end since I felt it would fit there even better. And then I've taken inspiration from so many different places. In our Discord, in our hashtag media channel, we also have showcasing of one of the new biomes. Actually, this is a brand new biome that is replacing our original Dunes biome. It's called the Windswept Dunes, and it's actually based off of um, the Doja Cat and SZA Kiss Me More video, where it's kind of on this pink lush dune oasis type planet, and I thought the concept was so cute, and I wanted to bring something brand new, and incorporate some kind of just new theme for the overworld desert biomes. I feel like a lot of our overworld desert biomes are not very magical. A lot of them are more realistic, so I definitely wanted to try and start incorporating some more magical things. And then yeah, so I want to go ahead and talk about some of the upcoming major biome changes as well. Um, just since we're on the topic of that. Let's see, was the top of the wood texture fixed? Was that for redwood or for Zika? I can look at both. Both look fine to me. They both look fine, so I think it should be good. Let's see. So just kind of going back to this list, kind of like the major one I want to talk about is the Borealis Grove. So the boreal forest has kind of always been it you won't be able to see it yet. I will say most likely for the release we won't be seeing the implementation of the biome rework. It most likely will be in 1.1 essentially of 118. But the Borealis Grove has always kind of been this biome. It's got some trees. It was kind of like one of the first biomes we worked on. It was something easy for us when we were first making the mod. Had easy trees, easy world gen, nothing too crazy. So it definitely lacks kind of a concept, and it doesn't really fit well anywhere. Um, which is why the new rework of this, and this most likely will be in the, like I said, won't be in release, it'll probably be in the next update. But the Borealis Grove is essentially going to be transformed into a more winter, icy concept, and it will contain it's still going to be like a grove, it's going to have some grove trees but it's going to be a lot more magical, more fantasy based, and definitely now more on the colder side of the temperature. It's going to have some snow and all that, but it's going to be a wonderful concept. I'm really excited. And one of the new mobs is most likely going to be spawning here as well. But I can go ahead and talk about some of those as well a bit later. So just from new biomes coming up to be prepared of, Glacial Grove, I definitely for our next focusing updates, I want to focus on adding more biomes to the biome categories that don't see a lot of love, specifically snow and ice. We don't have a lot of those, especially since we ended up removing a lot of our snowy variant biomes. Personally, a lot of users complained that it was kind of lazy. They didn't really like that it was just a biome with snow slapped on it, and there wasn't anything that made that interesting rather than just like a diversity aspect. And I had to take some time to really think about that. And ultimately I do agree that we as a team could be coming up with more unique concepts for our biome categories and our biome temperatures, and not just creating variants. And that's why we also ended up removing some of our seasonal biomes, like the seasonal birch forest. We ended up removing the deciduous, the seasonal, and the snowy deciduous. All the deciduous biomes are gone. Yes, I definitely with the Borealis Grove definitely was what Ebo said is definitely thinking about like an aurora and stuff like that. I would really hope I'm not I believe most especially like shaders and stuff that kind of do that stuff. I would love to work with that and hopefully get some sort of visual implemented for the Borealis Grove to have an aurora, because that is a big part of the concept I actually had in mind. And one of the mobs that will be coming in this biome is very much based around auroras and magic and this northern magic. That's gonna kind of rely upon this biome's new rework, and there's gonna be some new utility blocks, some new decorations that go hand in hand. This biome's going to be receiving a ton of love and a ton of things to make it a more in-depth and unique overworld experience when players walk upon it. Um, and then, yeah, so our Glacial Grove is going to be another snowy biome that is going to be added, and is going to add back the re-edition of BYG's one of BYG Classic's wood types, the Glacial Oakwood. I believe it is getting renamed. I'm not sure if I still kept that name for that. Let's see. 'Cause I know there's definitely that, but I believe, yeah. So I think it is just Glacial Oak for now. I may change the name on that, but it's essentially what it's going to be. Um, it's gonna be like this frozen over oak wood. It's gonna have this like light pale icy color. Um, and it's still up for debate in my mind if the wood type itself will have some sort of melting property. I know definitely for sure something you'll be able to do is if you toss glacial wood, like the strip, the log, whatever, into into like a furnace, it'll actually, before it turns into like charcoal or anything, it'll actually defrost it and turn it back into oak wood. So just like a fun little interaction that it could have. And then there's going to be some new decorational blocks, and we're going to see the return of naturally spawning snowmen to the Glacial Grove. The Grove will contain snowmen that will spawn through, that can spawn throughout in a rare occurrence. So you can have little snowmen wandering around in the biome, which is going to be really cute. I'm really excited for it. And then we also have the Windswept Dunes, which is going to be a more desolate, but still interesting dune, but in a snowier version. And that concept's not as finalized yet, but it's there and it's being worked on actively. And I will talk about that more. And I saw a suggestion if the snowman had a random chance to spawn without their pumpkin. That would be a cute idea. I'd definitely be down to look into that. And I'm definitely thinking about adding some kind of like cute little snowman village as like a rare little Easter egg structure. Obviously you wouldn't be able to trade with them, but just like some cute little snowman like village I think would be cute. As like a little rare thing you could stumble upon. And then here is kind of a list of, just a heads up, if you like any of these blocks, I'm so sorry for you, but some of these things are being removed. Here's kind of a list. Actually, we'll say some of it's a bit outdated. I'm gonna put that away. Some of it is still a little outdated, but yes. Oh, thank you. Yes, yeah, that's a cute idea. Thank you, Tremboli. So definitely I will let you know the orchards are gone, cornflower is gone already. Bramble branch. So not the bramble itself, not this part, but this is being removed. Because what this is essentially a stick, like bamboo. But personally, I just realized it was kind of taking up useless space when that could just drop a stick. So Bramble's gonna just drop a stick now, instead of having that item. So it's a bit useless. So yeah, and the black rose is most likely going to be removed. Some of this isn't finalized. Yellow nether brick is being removed. The ender lily is going to be removed, as well as plant stems and our petal blocks. So this and this. Now, don't fret. It's being removed, but it is being replaced, and I'll talk about that more soon. Lignite ore should not be removed. Personally, if lignite ore is being removed for now, but we could see a possible return of it because, what's it called? in our end revamp update, ultimately it's being removed because its current purpose right now is horrible. It is legitimately just worse coal. And it's just not no play. It has no one uses it. It's extremely underwhelming to find, and it doesn't really serve a unique purpose right now. So I'd rather remove it at the moment, and then I'm going to reconcept that ore and reconcept that so that in our update for the end, when we go back and revisit that dimension, we can reintroduce it to either one of the new biomes coming in or one of the existing biomes with a new concept, new utility, new features. White sand, yes, white sand is being removed. White sand and white sandstone, as well as pink sand and pink sandstone. Now, the reason that is because we now have windswept sand, which is going to be pink, as a pinkish color. And the reason white sandstone is being removed is because of the snow swept sand and snow swept sandstone. So actually that is going to be replacing it. So you're still going to have that white sand and white sandstone. It is kind of more being remade and changed. So you'll still have access to those blocks. They will receive a little bit of a different texture look to them. So let's see, updated like Nightshade Phyllium. Sound updates. So sound updates to a lot of the blocks is something I am looking into. And I definitely want to do. I actually did update a few of the sounds for some of the blocks that I've been working on. And I want to incorporate some new 1.19 sounds as well. So I'm totally down for that. But ultimately, I am exploring the option of trying to see if I can get some recording, like start recording my own custom sounds for some of the unique blocks and getting some unique audios down for that as well. Because I would love to incorporate some more BYG specific sounds that can just have their own feel rather than kind of everything sounding like vanilla. But like, still sounding like it fits, but like custom. It's its own thing. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely would update that to kind of still that to sound more like the Nylium sound where it's kind of like a mix of stone and grass mixed in. I agree. Um, some revamped blocks are whaling. Anything that had whaling in it is now going to properly. There was some grammatical errors a long time ago when I first designed those blocks, so they're going to be properly grammatically fixed to the correct whaling. Now it's not an actual whale. It is now someone crying out. And Nylium, Soul Sand, and Soul Soil are being renamed to Warp Soul Sand and Warp Soil. Just some general name change fixes. Um, New blocks, and I have talked about these a little bit. They've been showcased in our hashtag media section, but these are our Firecracker flower bushes, which have been there was new artwork done to them. These have been in the mod for a very long time, but they've received brand new artwork overhaul to them to kind of feel more vibrant and alive, as well as I don't have it working right now. Corgi has to work on that a little bit. But essentially now you can also get from these, when you bone meal them, you'll be able to get a little shrub from it. So it kind of acts as both like a plant, bush, and a sapling. And then if you shear firecracker leaves, as long as they're on a dirt tag, I believe, and you shear it, you can get a flower bush. So it's a renewable resource, you know, which I think is just a really cool, unique function for this bush. Yeah, something clever, something that's easy for players to do. Gives more shears a bit more utility because shears only do so much at the moment. So I wanted to give that something interesting. So yeah, glacial oakwood type's going to be coming. We've got windswept, snow swept, and then I want to go ahead and talk about some of the new decorations that we've been adding. Um, we've already went over Hydrania. I want to take a look at our new cactus sprouts and kind of go in depth and explain those for our users so people know how to use them more. Should have a particle that happens when sheared. It does. I thought it did. Hold on, I can go back and check. I thought it did. It does. Yeah, there's a particle when it gets sheared. Ironwood. I will talk about ironwood in just a bit. That is on the top. So yes. So here is a look at Cattail. I worked on the textures and the artwork and the modeling for this, and basically everything how it was designed was super fun. I'm obsessed. So now cattails are now a renewable resource, finally, right? We've been all wanting, it has been one of the biggest requests to have our cattails renewable resource. So now it is a new renewable resource. It actually functions like a new kind of crop. So these sprout, when you place a cattail, it's going to come in this new sprout, which you can place them either along water or kind of in the water, you know? So they can be placed in water or they can be placed on land. However, so when you're going to go, you can bone meal it and it'll grow a full 2-block cattail, which is going to look like this. And they've got random rotations on them to kind of give them some stuff. You cannot eat it right now. I'm working on our update that's going to be focused on advancements and stuff like that. We'll definitely be exploring some more fun options with that. And then you can go ahead and bone meal these as well in the water, and those will work too. But you can't bone meal the cattail sprouts that are 2 blocks fully in the water. You always have to have this top part above water. So that's just something to note. The reason we still allow you to place them underwater fully is simply for decoration. So the current stuff I'm working on, Spare, and asked in the chat just about the cattails and what we could do as like a fun little joke is basically an advancement you'll be able to do is you're going to be able to put it on a where are these things? A campfire. You'll be able to cook it on the campfire, but after a certain duration of it being on the campfire, it's actually going to explode, and there's going to be like particles that come off of it. It won't damage any blocks, but it will hurt you. It'll do like a mini just purely damage explosion, and then you'll get a fun little advancement. Since cattail sprouts, basically when you open them up, they kind of poof out. So just like a little fun thing. So yeah, cattails, renewability, super important. You can now farm them, and now you can make, where are they? I'm trying to look for them. I think they're more up here. Where are they? Hold on. Cattail, here it is. Cattail Thatch. So now there is the Cattail Thatch, which comes in a full block, which can be rotated, a slab, stairs, and a carpet as well. So all of these have working recipes that can be made from the cattail. That's a brand new decoration block. I'm obsessed with them. I think they look adorable. I love them personally, and I was really happy about it. Though, and then with this, reeds have been removed. What if the carpet could pile like snow? Personally, I didn't want to do that kind of thing with the snow piling purely because it is a carpet and you don't typically place carpet on top of itself like that. And I want it to also be able to still function like carpet where you can do this. So people can use that for building, redstoning, etc. Just to be consistent with the other carpets in the game. But yeah, so reeds are removed now. Cattail has fully replaced reed, simply because of just how in-depth Cattail is now. There's really no need for reeds. And their purpose. And also, if you do a quick Google search, I found out a reed is a cattail. They're kind of like one and the same, just kind of different parts. Like I believe this part is the reed and this part is the cattail. In real life, something like that. It was something along that lines, and I felt stupid. So reeds are gone. But yes. And then going over, let's see, what is next? Oh, the lanterns. So we've added by your community, it's been a huge community request. If Boric and Cryptic Fire can have lanterns and torches. Boric Torch is being worked on. It's not finished. I can't showcase it, but it is being worked on. It is planned, and it should hopefully be in by release. I got to talk to one of my other devs to get working on the particle for it and stuff like that. So yes, but Cryptic has, so I can showcase the lanterns right here, and Cryptic is a very interesting, it's very redstone based. So here they are. I think they look really pretty. And, you know, even Cryptic kind of got this unique little texture going on the sides, a little more purple. Has to kind of get its own little thing. But what makes this so interesting is the redstone. So Cryptic can emit a redstone signal. All Cryptic things can actually, which is so fun, like including the campfire. Okay, did I lie? Okay, it's supposed to. I lied. That was embarrassing. Y'all didn't see that. That will be in though. I will make sure that is updated before release. It's supposed to. I guess it didn't work. But yes, so the lantern can emit redstone signals, and what's just fun about it is that it can emit a redstone signal while it's hanging. So, you know, you can even kind of get that redstone signal going through that, which I think is really cool. And it gives a lot of opportunities for, you know, unique redstone systems. So yeah, and then because Cryptic is based off redstone, it will not be receiving a torch because that would literally just be a redstone torch. You somehow turn it off somehow to turn off the lamp and signal. Um, at the moment, no, because none of the lanterns can do that. I can look into that though. I can look into that if that's something the community, you know, ends up really wanting. I wanted it, it doesn't do that right now because, what's it called? It can't do that right now because it would be kind of inconsistent with the rest of how like, just like lantern function. Like obviously, yes, it can emit a redstone signal. That's not in none of the other ones can do that. But I don't want to add too many caveats to it. Just I usually when I try to make something a little different or a variation, I usually only try to add one or two things to it so that it's not doing that. But I can definitely see that. So I can definitely look into that. What if boric campfires could cook food faster to fit with the theme of anthracite? That's a unique idea that I actually did not think of, and I will look into. Thank you for that suggestion. I actually like that. I'd have to see what I can do with that, but I like that. And then, so instead of a redstone torch, we have the brand new cryptic end rod. Which also, fun fact, I gave it an animated texture. So it has an animated texture on the kind of goes bright, a little dim, bright, a little dim. So that looked better than the original Enrod. I just kind of liked it more. You can extinguish the campfire. All campfires can be extinguished. That's a vanilla thing, so you can just go ahead and do that. Pick it back up. You got that. Oh, thank you. So yeah, I personally really love working on this block, even though it's not super ingenious. It's just an end rod. I think it looks super cool. I think it has a lot of different purposes. And this too can emit a redstone signal. So, which is really neat. This is also a redstone signaled base block. I will say in regardings to the, because I know everyone's gonna go and just ask right now, like with the lantern, can you turn this off? I'm gonna go ahead and say no, just for the end rod, specifically. But I will look into the lantern being turned off, but the end rod is not gonna be turned off simply because that just wouldn't really make sense. You can't really turn that off. So I'm gonna say no for this one, but for the other one, I'll look into that. But yeah, no. And then, you know, we can definitely look into like other color variants and things like that. But right now, this is just kind of something I wanted to do in parody because I can't give it a torch. I wanted to give it something that fit more with the end. So it's gonna have this, which I think looks neat. And I really like this, so I'm glad everyone, you know, enjoys it. And I think people will have a lot of fun with this and can create some really cool contraptions with that. And then let's see, what was something else I wanted to talk about? I'm not gonna touch a ton on the another stuff right now. So Nether Brick is being removed, but it's getting replaced with Brimstone Brick, which is basically just renaming it essentially, and then it's gonna have a wall, chisel. It's gonna have more block variants, so it's gonna be expanded upon. But we're most likely not gonna get to that until the Nether update, and it's probably not gonna be. It's probably gonna stay the way it is now until we get to the Nether themed update. Um, so yes, you could technically make a purple variant with the color scheme of the cryptic Enrod. Um, Potentially, that's a possibility. Because Cryptic Stone right now doesn't really have any blocks with it. That is a good idea if you wanted to. Since you are like one of the BYG artists, you're welcome to explore that concept. I'm down to explore that concept with you. And we can talk about that more in private. But that's a good idea, actually. I didn't really think about that but that most likely, I will let you know if we start talking about that. That most likely will not come until the end update in 119. That probably won't be for BYG release, just because we have a lot of other stuff we got to focus on. 1 second. So yes, and now I just wanted to kind of walk over, ignore some of like these are probably not coming out till 118. I'm gonna let y'all know that now, but talk about the upcoming major updates. Our few major updates that we're going to be focusing on and working on. So the first one is Wards and Warheads. This is probably going to be our one of our first major content updates. We are going to have an advancement update and stuff like that, which will most likely actually come out. It probably will be like the first update of BYG 118, simply because we can't be doing mobs until 119 releases in the summer. So we're gonna probably be focusing a lot on our Biomepedia that everyone is really excited about and has been teased. And we're going to be working on the Biomepedia, working on advancements, and all that jazz. So yes, that will most likely come first, but content update wise, first one, Wars and Warheads. Wards and Warheads. So biomes being revamped, we're gonna see changes to our Zika woods. We're gonna see changes to our Abnal Taiga and Valley and Forest, and then the Abnal Valley as well. And then a new biome coming in is if, for those who don't know, we took in our Discord, it was a very lengthy process. We had tons of applications submitted. We hosted a community biome vote where we went through multiple rounds. The community had voted and we had tons of votes, tons of submissions. But the ultimate winner ended up being our ancient reefs biome. So because this was promised to be in the first major content update for BYG 2022. So the Ancient Reef Biome will be coming. So excited. It's been very thoroughly planned out. And there's a ton of just really fun stuff coming for that. And then, so some blocks that are going to be added with that is Ancient Coral, which is going to be like a new stone type almost. It'll have some new chiseled and things like that you can kind of work with, and it'll have this very like watery coral vibe, but also feeling kind of stony. So it'll be really cool. Our Remnant Tendrils. And I can kind of go into detail about what all of that is a little later. I don't want to give away too much. Some of it's in the Discord. So yes, we've got Mana Membrane, Mana Stingers, and then now we get on to everyone's hype. This is all in media, by the way, in our BYG Discord. Go and check these out. Screenshots have been posted of the Pumpkin Ward and the Manowar Jellyfish. Those are the two first mobs coming in. Yes, you do. We'll get to that soon. But the first mob is going to be our Pumpkin Ward. Um, so the Pumpkin Ward is going to be found in the Abnal Valley. And basically what our little pumpkin dude does is he's really cute and he can go in and he's gonna act as kind of like a villager. He's a little more stupid, and there's gonna be the warden patch, which is kind of like oh, I am getting a knock on my door. So I will actually be right back. Apologies. Just 1 second here. Okay, I'm back. So sorry about that. Yeah, you're a little late for that. Let me know if y'all can still hear me, by the way. But yes. Sorry about that. Had to go and take something. I'm back. Don't worry. We're all good. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, Pumpkin Ward is gonna have their own unique structure. They kind of act like a little stupid villager. They're super cute though. Okay, good. Um, and they're just adorable. So yeah, I absolutely love them. I worked on and designed them myself. They were like my little passion project. So they're super cute. And yeah. And then we've got the Manowar Jellyfish, which is going to spawn in the Ancient Reef. And then it might spawn in an ocean biome, potentially. Don't quote me on it. And then with the Ancient Reef is going to be called a washed up ruin village. It's going to be like a custom ruined underwater it's like an underwater ruined village that got washed up on shore, essentially. So it's above ground, but yes, it's really cool. Super excited. So that's going to be the first update. It's going to be mostly focused on some overworld content. We're not really going to be touching the Ender Nether in that. Potentially, maybe just some bug fixes, of course. But yes. And then moving on, our next major update is called Classic Roots. And yeah, going on. So this is going to be um, reintroducing a lot of classic, what's it called? Classic blocks from BYG 1.12, BYG Classics, which is super exciting, introducing some just very original work that was done. So we've got 3 new biomes coming, no biome reworks, just 3 brand new biomes. You've got Amethyst Isles, Ironwood Badlands, and the Maze Wilds. So our Amethyst Isles is going to be an exclusive island biome, very similar to like a mushroom island and our tropical island. So this is going to be a very stone. It's going to have like stone and stone spikes, and it's going to be just tons of amethyst surface geodes. It's going to be so pretty. Um, the reason this is because amethyst doesn't have a lot of uses. It's not something overpowered. It's not something like it's a little bit rare, but you can find geodes pretty very commonly. So I felt very comfortable working on this biome and clearing, like confirming that this biome was good to go, simply because it's not like a diamond biome, like where you're getting a ton of overpowers. It's just amethyst. Um, and with this update, these aren't added in fully yet. Not all of the what's it called? Not all of the finalized blocks and items and stuff have been put in these little notes yet, but we're going to be working on adding some new uses for amethyst in this update and giving amethyst a more versatile use for our players and anyone that wants to kind of utilize that. And then we've got the Ironwood Badlands, which is going to add back our OG Ironwood wood type, a new Ironwood Blossom flower, which is going to hang from the leaves of the tree, and then an Ironwood flowering bush as well, which is super exciting. And it's going to be a Badlands, so it's going to be a new desert biome for people to explore. It's going to be very lush, and it's very pretty. I'm so excited, and it'll look really cool. And then we're also going to be adding in the Maze Wilds, which is going to be a more tropical biome, not necessarily like a warm, like not like the prairie, and but it's definitely because it's going to be a new food source. So the maize wild is going to be a lot of wild corn. For those who don't know what maize is, it's corn. It's just the more indigenous appropriate term in when its like original name. So yes, it's going to be a really pretty biome, and it's going to be a great biome for getting food source, and it will be the only place you can find corn. Once you get maize, you can harvest it, and it will be a growable crop, but this is where you're going to have to go to find that crop. And then there's going to be some new fun stuff with it, like maybe some sort of like popcorn or things like that, and things like it'll be fun. And some new little food dishes that are going to go with that. Um, and then it'll also, the corn is going to be used, it'll be a food source for chickens and some of our new mobs as well. Ooh, a golden corn would be good. And yes, the Iron Badlands will have a more common spawn of iron in contrast with the Badlands having a spawn of gold. That was planned, just so that it would kind of convey the name a bit better and it'd be name appropriate. But you can also see one of the items. One of the new foods is chicken enchiladas, which will be kind of fun. Because it's gonna use the corn, and then it's also gonna use chicken as part of the recipe, which I think is kind of fun. Slay! Um, and then for mobs, we're gonna have, so these two mobs were the first two mobs ever added to BYG, and then they were quickly removed because I realized they sucked. But they're going to come back with a brand new, complete overhaul, and that is our Kiwi Bird and our Ivory Woodpecker. So the Kiwi Bird is going to be home to our tropical islands biome. That is the only place you'll be able to find them and their habitat. And then our Ivory Woodpecker is going to be native to the aspen woods. And then originally it said deciduous forest, but the deciduous forest ended up getting removed. So it'll spawn in a couple other places. It hasn't been fully finished. But so, and I can go in a little bit in depth about the Kiwi Bird and what it does. So the Kiwi Bird are going to have a similar function. So basically how they work is, they have their kiwi and they will go around and they will pick berries on the islands and eat a lot of the fruits and berry bushes. They're going to have, in their AI, they're going to be able to kind of waddle around the island and stuff. Yes, we are adding kiwis, but kiwi birds will not drop kiwis, but we will probably make them like the kiwis, and it'll probably be an exclusive fruit that spawns on the tropical islands. Hasn't been finalized yet, but yes, kiwis. But our kiwi bird are gonna, there's these cute little birds, and essentially how they work is they have a nest. Yes, kiwi birds are made out of kiwis. That's 100% true. You can Google it, I promise. And it's 100% accurate. But basically, their kiwi birds are gonna, because they kind of burrow in nests, there's gonna be a nest block. And it's gonna look like a grass block, but then the under it is gonna have like a little hole where they crawl in. So kind of like a beehive nest, essentially. Um, so they're gonna go into their little kiwi hole, and that's where they will live. And then in the daytime or whatever, they kind of go out and do their thing. And they can be bred and they actually can be turned into pets. So they're going to be an actual pet that you can have that will have a function or a utility with it. I believe they can scare off. They do something. I read it down somewhere else, and I don't want to. I wrote it down in a Discord DM that I don't really want to pull up right now. So I'm kind of trying to just remember best out of memory. But yeah, and they can't fly because they're kiwi birds can't fly, and they're little big chonkers, but they're cute. And I'm really excited. Their AI is really interesting, and like how they're going to function. They're going to be very dynamic and just something fun. Um, and the only way to transport said kiwis is going to be through like you like tame it and then it like kind of gets in a boat with you. We wanted to make sure that like you can't just take the kiwis from like the kiwi dens from their natural habitat. So if you destroy a kiwi habitat, they will get hostile and will try to peck at you, and they will get mad because you destroyed their home. Yes, palm trees are going to get revamped, and we may see coconuts with that. And then just structures, the Ironwood Village. It's going to be a desert-themed village around Ironwood. So that'll have villagers and trading and homes. That's like a full, just like actual village. Hold on, I'm sorry, I have to cough. I'm a COVID recovery. So my lungs, when I talk for a while, my lungs get a little weak, but that's okay. And then, um, ignore this. This was old. This was before I had to, this was before I had to change plans. So it's a little different. Then we go to our Nether update, which is Hell and High Waters. So we're revamping the Crimson Garden, we're revamping the Weeping Mire, and we're revamping the Warp Desert. And along with this, we are also removing the Withering Woods. And this update will be introducing the Erisian undergrowth, I believe is what it's called, to replace it, which will also be a new biome, so to say. And then there's going to be Brimstone Bricks with its variants, a Soul Shroom wood type. A lot of people have wanted this. I believe Spare actually did start. I don't know if he finished it, but he started working on the wood type for this. So there's going to be a Soul Shroom wood type to go with it. And then 2 new mobs, the Warped Wormlin and the Weeping Warlock. So we'll start with the Warped Wormlin. So the Warped Wormlin's going to spawn in the Warped Desert, which is our one of the. I believe it was the second. It was the second Nether biome to ever be added to BYG. The first is the Cynthian Torrids, but Warped Desert, I believe, was the second. Yes. Oh, it's raining in Minecraft. Cool. But yes, so we got that, which is super cool. But the Warp Wormlin is going to be this kind of worm-like creature, and it's going to have a den block. These are hostile, but they're essentially going to be, they're going to go underground, then they're going to like shoot up and try to like attack you and stuff like that. Oh, perfect. Honestly, I'm fine with that. I didn't want you to hear it anyways. That's good. Yeah, I'm just gonna pause that for myself then, just because it was kind of annoying. So, okay. But yeah, so basically in its AI, what I'm working on doing with the Wormlin is that it will essentially, in the hope, is that it'll kind of spawn in a pack, and like one of them or two of them will kind of go under you and try and grab your feet, and if they successfully grab your feet, then you won't be able to move until you slay like the worm that's grabbing your foot. And then the other worms will just try to like spit at you, and they'll spit some kind of like nether acid stuff that like damages you. So they'll be a force to reckon with. I wanted to give the nether some sort of more hostile creatures. Something fun. Slay! Slay! And then also the Weeping Warlock. It's essentially gonna be like a witch, but for the nether. Hello, Blue Glade. You didn't hear the slay? Oh no. I'll have to look into that. I wonder. I think they are. I think there might have been something might have happened with them. I can look into it. But yeah, so then we're gonna have the Weeping Warlock, which is super cool. It's pretty dope. I like it. I think it's cool. It's gonna be like a witch, but like it's gonna be like a male witch because it's a warlock. Um, but yes, and it'll have a new structure with it. I don't believe it is written down here, but it'll have a little warlock hut. It's gonna be better than a witch hut, and you may find I'm working on this, but I want to add a new nether kitten skin. So a kitten skin, like for a cat, that can only be found in the Warlock hut. And if you slay the Warlock, you can tame his cat, which has an exclusive nether kitty skin, which is I think will be kind of like a fun little reward, and then you can get an advancement for it too. And then our last, well, we got a couple ones, but this one might be incorporated into another update, so I'll talk about that later. But our mostly last major update is going to be the Scourge of Skull. This is our most likely predicted for 119. Shulkran Forest is being revamped into the Shulkran Tangle, which is going to have this much more lush, tall, jungle-like environment. Then we're revamping the Viscal Isles again, just to, it's going to have some new stuff in it, some new structures, a new mob, just for that as well. And then, along with the Scourge of Skulk, we're actually going to be adding. So for both of these, by the way, it's not mentioned here, but for Hell and High Waters and Scourge of Skulk, there was hello Chips. There was actually the other two community biomes. So there was it was like a membrane biome for the end, and then for the nether was like this. I think it was like a kind of like a heaven hell based one. That were the other votes, I believe. So these are both going to be receiving those community biomes that lost. The two losers of the community vote will be added in these updates, but since they're later on, yeah, I haven't had a chance to really sit down and do a ton of talking with everyone. I've had a really busy month. So yes, but yes. I do want to do more biome votes. My goal is for every year I want to host an event, kind of like this one's a bit more informal, but my goal going forward with development is I would love to have a kind of like a single day for like a full like 5-6 hour stream just doing like the 2020 or like whatever like that the next year's kind of like a showcase panel and stuff like that, as well as doing a community vote every year. It's very like similarly styled. So yes, I do plan on doing that. I really enjoyed that event. I feel like it was a great way to bring the community together and grab some new community members as well. So super awesome opportunity. Yes, I love that. But yeah, so Scourge of Skulk, and then we're adding a new biome called the Vermilion Badlands. And then we're going to be removing Purple Peaks, because the Purple Peaks biome is kind of sucky. She's kind of a flop. So we're adding the Vermilion Badlands, and essentially we're trying to kind of tell a story. The Scourge of Skulk is kind of meant for people who don't kind of know the little lore of the Skulk in the NR end, is Vermilion Skulk a long time ago, an ancient race, um, lived there, but then some kind of plague took over, the Skulk took over, and so they like destroyed it and shattered it in the hope that it wouldn't reach the main end islands and keep spreading. And to kind of go and further that story now, Skulk has made it to the mainland now. Unfortunately, what those ancient civilizations attempted to do so long ago, unfortunately, you as the player have enabled this infestation further, and now Skulk is now on the main end islands, and has some new terrain has formed because of this, so that's why we're going to be seeing our Vermilion Badlands. Purple Stone will most likely be removed. Yep. But there is a chance in the Vermilion Badlands. I'm debating on adding it kind of like as a mix-in. Like you'll kind of get these tilted spikes generating from the ground. Of purple, just kind of to add some coloration. So yeah. Oh, sorry for the coughing. So yeah, This update's not super decided yet. It was the last one I worked on for the concepting for the year, so it doesn't have a ton. I don't have a lot of specifics yet. Mobs, Vermilion Endermen, which are kind of like these plagued Endermen, which will have their own unique little thing. The Shulkran Hound, which is going to be a kind of like dog-like fungal thing in the Shulkran Tangle. And then the Ethereal Stalker, which is going to actually be, it'll spawn throughout the Vermilion biomes, like in the Badlands, the Viscal Isles, as well as the Ethereal Forest and the Ethereal Isles as well. So that's pretty cool. I don't have a ton of information on those right now, so yeah. And then also, just kind of glancing over, we have the Enchanted Ground, which are going to be the snow-swept sand, snow-swept sandstone, and then florist petal blocks and florist wood type. So that's why we are removing the petal blocks, the old ones, because they're going to be replaced with this new wood type. This is most likely, not gonna lie, this might come in release actually. This might come sooner or it might not, because the Forgotten Forest is most likely going to include these. Yes. So I can't guarantee it. It might not happen depending on the time I have available to do this and implement this. So yeah, whatever happens, happens. But these will be in here eventually, but I can't say exactly when. So yeah, this was, everything. We pretty much got through all of the content I wanted to speak about. To anyone that's watching, if anyone has any questions about what I just talked about, or just stuff for what BYG 2022 alpha content they want to talk about, I'm glad to answer some questions. If you guys want to see anything in game, let me know. So yeah, I'll leave it open for some questions for a bit, and then I'm probably going to wrap it up because I'm hungry. But yeah, no, it's definitely, I've been redoing a lot of the artwork for at least the saplings. Like this is the new Baobab sapling. And then the Arak, where is it? This also received new textures as well to kind of better match its colors. And then let's see. And here's a look at windswept sand if you have not seen it already. And actually comes with a pillar too, which is kind of cool. And then here's the sand, which yes, is a lot like the soil, but this is the sand. This is how it be. I wanted it to look different, so. Here's the sandstone. Let's see. And then, where is it? I wanted to talk about, let's see. So regarding, let's see, I think the natural spawning etherstone should get a more unique texture. But this one? I could. I mean, I'm up for exploring that. When the time comes, of course, for the end update, I wouldn't mind that. Yes. And then let's see. Let's see. There's anything I else wanted to mention? I think I pretty much covered everything I want to talk about. I'm looking into adding a golden baobab fruit for the funds of it. Haven't fully decided on what it'll do yet. If it might literally just be like a golden apple, just for fun to have. Um, let's see. What do I want? Also, don't forget to give this side of traversing random rotation. Oh, yeah. I should do that. That would be smart, wouldn't it? I can do that. Nightshade, I will say Nightshade will definitely be receiving a rework in regards to its entire color palette, if that makes sense. Just wanted to say thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you so much, Trimboli. Thank you. I'm really personally, I'm so excited that the mod has progressed. We're at 11 million downloads, you guys, which is so exciting. I'm so glad that, you know, I was able to get this opportunity to really do. Hello, North3. Hello. So yeah, I was so excited I got to do this opportunity. It's just been such a fun journey, getting to um, develop and grow such a large community. Our Discord has over 3,000 members, which is insane. I'm glad that I'm really exciting that I'm going to be streaming on Twitch more, that I get to stream and just everything. It's been so fun. It's been such a fun journey. I started this, for anyone that doesn't know, I started BYG by myself when I was 12 years old. I am now 19, so it's been a long journey. It's been a really long time of this was just it was little 12-year-old me would be so happy right now to know that so many people enjoy and love the content that we work on. And I'm really happy that I got to bring on Corgi, who has become such an amazing friend and developer. Um, and he has also really shaped this mod and has helped turn it into something that is not only just something I'm proud of, but something both of us are really proud of. And it's such an incredible journey, and I'm so thankful for it. But I'm really excited I can't wait for the alphas to be finished. Like I said, I believe Corgi said that he really wants to try and get the alphas done by and have release ready by the end of the month. We can't promise it, but it's what we're aiming for, which I think would be really awesome. We really want to get all of the content in your guys' hands for 118. So you can experience stuff like this on all of our new biomes. Because isn't this just gorgeous? Like, look at that. How incredible is that? It looks amazing. And you can go in this like crazy little pit here. What made me start it? So, one of my Slay. One of my biggest inspirations for BYG was, if anyone knows this YouTuber, her name is Ayaz Cupquake. She started a series called the Oasis series back when I was around like a 10, 11, 12, and she was my favorite YouTuber. And she played with the Biomes O Plenty mod, and I don't want to hear any shame about them. Me and Corgi are great friends with them. Um, so no shame on them. We are all besties here. We talk with them very frequently, and we're all very close friends now. Like, we've all become really good developer friends. I really love their team. They're all wonderful people. But she was playing with Biomes Plenty, and I remember I had one of my best friends, still best friends with today. He said that no one could ever beat Bop. No one could ever outdo them. And I guess there was a part of me that was like, I've always wanted to put my ideas on that. It's easy to talk about your ideas, but it's difficult to put them on the paper, as they say. So, I kind of took that as like a personal challenge almost. A 12-year-old me really was like, I want to know if I could do that. Could I make such an iconic staple thing? Yeah, man, wonder who said that. Hmm. And so here we are, six, wait, 7 years later, I think. No, wait. No, it's 6 years. Yeah, no. No, it's seven. 7 years later. Here we are. I'm bad at math. 7 years later. Obviously, we are not Bop. I think that was 7 years ago. I had this mindset of beating them. Now I don't see it that way at all. I've matured and grown up as a 19-year-old adult now. So I don't view it that way anymore. It's not like competition. It's just that we're just two different mods in the same category. We focus on incredibly different content. So yeah, but that was the initial drive for that. And BYG initially started off as a flower mod, and I believe the first flower, here she is, the green tulip. This was the first thing I ever added to my workspace, was a green tulip because I thought it looked pretty. I started with some flowers, and then I started making some blocks, and then I made a biome to put the flower in, and it kind of took off from there. There was the ancient birch forest, the Zika woods, or like the Zika forest. I think it was actually called the autumnal forest at the time. Oh, trust me, I will never remove the green tulip. I personally still love her to this day. I think she's an icon. Like among all these, I still think that this tulip is my favorite tulip. It's an absolute icon. All of you are doing amazing stuff. You've been able to chat. I have talked with Starmute before. I believe, doesn't he make the data pack biomes? I have had a chat with them before. I believe, if it's who I think you're talking about, I believe they make the data pack biomes. I'm pretty sure they do, and they look really cool. I think those are absolutely beautiful. And I think it's so cool that they're able to really bring life. Yeah, I think what he or like what that Starmute and the rest of their team does, I believe it's for Terralith. I love that, but I believe what the rest of that team does, I think I would say I have the ability to create new blocks to aid in my visual representation and to aid in creating these landscapes, but they have such a challenge in the fact that they have to work with what's already there. And so they are so creatively talented by being able to take existing blocks and bringing an entire new life to them and being able to represent vanilla content in an extremely polar way. And I think it's beautiful. I know I've played around with Terralith before, and I thought it was incredibly inspiring and super cool. No, a lot of our us mod devs, and like world gen people, we know each other. We talk a lot, and we all have a lot of us have little group chats aside. Yes, I did see what they did to the end. It was incredible. I loved how they were able to change and manipulate the terrain there. It was beautiful. I'm obsessed with it. And another dev team we're super close with is the Better End team, the people who make Better End, Better Nether. Um, Paul and all them, absolutely love them. They're so wonderful. They've helped us so much, and truly wonderful people. Absolutely love them. Yes, yes. So I'm probably going to stop the stream here, just for the Minecraft content. I am probably gonna go stream Valorant with one of my friends for a couple hours. If anyone likes Valorant and is interested in watching that, I'll be commentating, and you are still totally free to ask about modded stuff, not Valorant related questions when I'm streaming Valorant. By the way, I feel like some people are like afraid to ask off-topic questions. I'm totally fine with that. I love taking that time. Yes, I was so excited. I'm so glad you guys joined. Thank you for everyone that tuned in for this. It was so fun. I had so much fun, and I can't wait to do this. I'll probably be trying to stream every weekend, um, do some dev updates and stuff. So yeah, thank you, you guys. Thank you for everyone who joined. I will see you guys later. And I'm gonna end the stream now. So yes, bye everyone. Thank you.